Alright, so this is in continuation with the previous custom avatars video. Now this is going to go over the animation properties of how to have an avatar make facial expressions when you miss a note, slice a good block, or disable into the wall, etc. Now, I already have something complete here. This is what you should end up with, something similar, but depending on what you want, you can always change it later. But let's just say that, for example, we want the sad animation to have ears go down. Okay, what you want to do is you go to the gestures, face gestures of the avatar. Again, this is assuming you have you bought one pre-made or you have your own made. You go into the animation. We need to pull up the animation data, and as you can see here, as you can see here, there are blend shapes within. Now these are the shapes that come with the avatar when you import them. To add a blend shape, all you simply do, let me go and make a duplicate of this. That way we can preserve the original one. Call this animation. Do that. Now we have that. Put our property, and then all your blend shapes will be under here, under body skin mesh editor. And the way you add them, you have to scroll all the way over here, and there's a plus sign right here. Now this one has a lot of blend shapes because it is the revamp, but some avatars might not have a lot of blend shapes. This one just does because this is a VR chat, mainly a VR chat avatar, but it does support the Saber avatars quite well. This is missing the ear blend shapes that I can pull back. That's not a problem. What you want to do is go back into that property, and if there's a blend shape that you can't find or it has something you want to move but doesn't have a blend shape for it, all you gotta do is go to armature, go to hips, and you go to the respective bone of the armature that you want to move. In this case, it would be the ears. Go here, go transform, and rotation. Now we gotta edit the shape keys so that it reflects it properly. So in this case, it would be, did this before? You edit this, and it should update momentarily. I don't know why I got it wrong. I go back to sad. There we go. Let's do that again. There we go. Now there's two ways you can do animations. You can either record it as is, and whatever you do with it within the editor, it will automatically, or you can do the animation style keyframes, where you put in specific values and you can curve them as it goes. But that's beyond the scope of this. These, you can see these keyframes. There's nothing else. There's just this right here. Play. As you can see, it works. And if you adjust this, it will automatically change. We want to do a little bit on a little rotation on the Y. That's the wrong way. And voila. Stop that. Back. Now you can't really. There's no other way to add in a property without clicking this button and going back down to. So this is kind of a Unity constraint. Well, once you get the hang of it, it goes pretty quickly. And we just go here, just copy his values. Wrong way. Go. and it should be 60. And that's it. As you can see, animation clip works. Now, I have it, and now you're gonna ask, I have the animation clip. How do I set up the animator? Because I know that's gonna be something that's a big nitpicker about trying to find information on this. So what you do is you go into animator. We already have one made here. But let's just say we start fresh. We go to a new layer. We just call this base. So what you do is you want this to be set as a weight of 1, which if this was a fresh animator, it would be here and it would automatically be set to 1, and you wouldn't be able to edit it as is shown here. You wouldn't be able to edit it. And you want to set it to additive. Now there's other different ways some people will add these to avatars. Some will decide to make individual anime controllers for each of the bones. I prefer to have it all into one. So then you got this. Then we gotta make a new layer, and we can call this expressions, or I'll call this video expressions. You do that, and what you want to do is you click create state, empty, and this should be called idle. Idle. And then you can drag as any state, and you gotta make a transition to idle. Now, for this, you need to check off exit time, or else the transition would be fully ignored. As said here, if you have it unchecked, it will say here that it will be ignored. Check it off, and now we're good to go. So now, let's take that sad animation, drag it in, and now you have this little, what a unit calls states. So we want to make a transition from any state to sad, and within this state, transition state, you have to make a parameter. Now, these are what we call trigger parameters. Well, it's either on or off. It's true or false. It's not, they're not really booleans, but they're either on or off, or yes and no. So we're going to call this sad vid, sad vid. Then you go into conditions, you select that, and there you go. Now you got the animation. Now, what you want to do is you go to your main avatar, not your animation one. The reason why you want to duplicate this is you want to preserve the original avatar. So we check this one, uncheck this one. You'll see now it's not affected by the animation. And when you go to animator, you want to put your controller into here. And that will let you play all your animations you have connected to here. Now, this is a process, but it's rinse and repeat for every single animation you want to make. Again, to recap, you go to animation you want to edit, make some changes to it, or apply your blend shapes to it by using the add property. Once you have that, you can drag the animation into your controller, then make a transition state with a condition via a parameter, and then once you have that set up, you can go into your avatar and drag your controller into there. Once you have that done, you can go down to the script called Event Manager. Now, Event Manager will trigger certain expressions or animations depending on a certain thing that happens within Beat Saber. Like, for example, a left good cut, it show happy. Same thing with right good cut. You're angry for bad cut, it depends on what you want your avatar to do within each event. And there's a myriad of different things you can do for each. But this is only about the make create animation and applying those animations to the face. So I won't get into that can of worms, but that's it. That's all you have to do for an animation.